where life is
7 a.m. and it's now time for the Morning Watch. Today, the Morning Watch is sponsored by Bashco, the store that gives you more.
Well, if you want buy appliances for your home with the quality high and the price low, get it on a Bashco. Get it on a Bashco. Bashco. Everything where you need, Bashco. It's guaranteed on a Bashco. Get it on a Bashco. It's up to your home and you get it on Bashco. The give you more Bashco.
Listeners to Love 101 FM are advised that the views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org. And if you are overseas and on the move, U.S. listeners can access us at 712-832-8001. And if you are in the UK, 0330-332-6541, or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also join us on Love 101 FM Facebook and YouTube Live. In the first watch today, is there pride in school spirit days? And in second watch, exploring the banning of ads as a diet control method. For our social media question, we ask, to what extent does advertising determine your child's diet? Share your responses on our Love 101 FM Facebook page and YouTube channel, and also on WhatsApp 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your response later on the program, but first, here's our quote.
All right, today's iQuote says, if someone is in the ER, chances are they are having a worse day than you.
ER meaning emergency,
room, right.
Enough has been said.
Well, who came up with it?
Sure. Enough. Well, unknown came up with it. The author is unknown. Good morning, Jukai.
Good morning.
The first watch will be back after this break.
Come celebrate with us at Scotia Christmas in the Park. Enjoy a fun-filled evening of family entertainment on Thursday, December 5, today at the Emancipation Park. See performances from talented young performers, including Father Holong and Friends, Voice Box Performing Arts, and Dwight Richards. That's Scotia Christmas in the Park on December 5, 2024. Gates open at 5 p.m. Showtime, 6 p.m. admission free. Merry Christmas from the Scotia Group. It's the most wonderful time of the year, and you're invited to the Season Splendor Christmas Small Business Expo.
on Saturday, December 21 from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Head on over to Campion College for a one-of-a-kind Christmas shopping experience.
Discover amazing local businesses, unique gifts, delicious treats, and so much more. Perfect for everyone on your list.
It's a holiday shopping spree like no other. And the best part, it's free. Yep, you heard right. Free.
So get your family, bring your friends, and come shop with love this Christmas. Don't miss out on the fun, the deals, and the holiday cheer.
We can't wait to see you at Season Splendor Expo, Saturday, December 21 at Campion College. Let's make this Christmas extra special.
Flight attendants, prepare for arrival. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on our final approach into Fort Lauderdale International.
Welcome home to Fort Lauderdale. Enjoy the service you love when you fly the Caribbean way. Our convenient schedule gives you the freedom to plan your perfect getaway. From power meetings to family greetings, take on adventure plays or get styled on shopping days. Fly Caribbean Airlines 3 times weekly from Kingston to Fort Lauderdale. Book now at caribbean-airlines.com or call 888-359-2475. Welcome home.
It's a one in a million feeling. When I start the ring, everyone starts to sing. Give sleep and give up. Christmas angel. Bro, make every day wrap up like Christmas thing with you. Everyone who signs up for Yard and Road for only $5,300 plus GTP gets a $25,000 marquee card. Plus 5 lucky customers could win extra checks of $1 million each. Christmas thing is impossible.
Offer ends December 31, 2024. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. Now, Spirit Days or Spirit Weeks are said to be events where students and faculty in schools dress up in themed outfits to celebrate their school's spirit. It is said that Spirit Days can be a fun way to boost school morale, encourage creativity, and strengthen a sense of community. But is it? Is it? Now, some Christians believe that there are some issues with Spirit Days that need to be addressed, and whether or not it can lead to distracting, confusing, and misleading children. What are these Spirit Days really about, and is there cause for concern? We have as our guest today on the Morning Watch, LaSonia Harrison, who's no stranger to Jamaica. She is a past president of the Jamaica Teachers Association. She's also the principal of St. Faith's Primary in St. Catherine. We have Evangelist Joseph Buckland as our other guest. Evangelist Buckland is no stranger to the Morning Watch. He is a lecturer at the Jamaica School of Preaching and Biblical Studies. Evangelist Buckland, LaSonia Harrison, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Marshall.
Good morning, Mr. Marshall. Good morning, Evangelist Buckland, and my past teacher. He probably doesn't even remember at Immaculate. That was years ago.
Yes, good morning.
Well, great having you both on. Now, starting with you, Evangelist, tell us what you know about these Spirit Days in schools and what is it all about?
Well, I remember when I was teaching at a prominent high school in Kingston and St. Andrew, when Spirit Day was introduced. And in those days, I did not know the background, that is how Spirit Day was started outside of Jamaica in Canada. But from what I observed, it was a time when the students would not dress in their uniform, but would dress in different ways, and they would have fun. And it was said to promote school spirit, a feeling of togetherness, and to take pride in the school's accomplishments. It wasn't until that article came out in a newspaper recently that spoke about the background to Spirit Day that I began to do some research into how Spirit Day started elsewhere, and why it is that in the high school that I was teaching at the time, we did not know about the purpose of the start of Spirit Day from overseas. I will have more to say about this later on.
Lasagna Harrison, Spirit Days. You are the principal of a primary school. Do you celebrate such a day in your school, or do you see it celebrated in other primary schools and other schools generally? And what's your experience, if any?
Thank you, Mr. Marshall. Well, pretty much as Pastor Buckland has shared, we don't celebrate that at my school, and I can't recall it taking root in our primary schools at all. My observations, I would have served at a traditional high school for some 12 years before coming to serve where I'm currently serving. And we observed that it was done in other traditional high schools, and we could not get it off in the school in which I served. And I just checked with my colleague who is still at the school, and to say, had they really gotten it off there, and they didn't. They tried, but it didn't take off. So it's usually our traditional high schools that I've observed. And in reflecting to come to share in this program, I thought it was quite interesting that it is our traditional high schools that have entrenched a loyalty and a spirit of culture that really perpetuates and celebrates these days, because they have strong alumni, most of them, that for now particularly participate in the practice of Spirit Day. And it is really, as Pastor Buckland has said, as for my knowledge, it really, to their ignorance, I would think, oblivion, that it's just about school pride and trying to get the youngsters to, have a loyalty, a sense of loyalty and commitment to their school. And so you wear shirts or paraphernalia that would want to engender that kind of loyalty to your particular institution. But revelations have come otherwise, that this pride and probably before now didn't look at that, how even that word pride, there are a lot of things that we once took for granted, a lot of words that didn't mean, they didn't have a particular connotation. But in these days, we have to be so circumspect and so wise and really do our research, because the origins of some of these practices, now we're finding that they're certainly not anchored in Judeo-Christian principles, and they indeed go against what God's word promotes. And in a country that is Christian, regardless of the challenges that we're having, and we pledge to the eternal Father, we pledge under God, and it's capital God. So we are a Christian nation. We have to be very careful of some of the practices, that we have to evaluate and review some of the things that we've been doing in our schools.
Yes, well, there is an article in the Freedom Come Rain newspaper that speaks to Spirit Days and some of the concerns with it. I don't know if you have seen that article, either of you guests this morning, but Lasagna Harrison, you did indicate some challenges or issues, but you didn't name what those things were. Would you mind, in a couple of seconds before we head to the break, to identify one or two or three or any number of the challenges with the Spirit Days as you understand it?
So I have I'm privy to the article to which you made reference. Okay. And so that would have led me to do my own research. And it's interesting that perhaps all the online sites that I came across talking about the origin of this day, when you look at the nature of the websites, they, outside of Wiki, they are predominantly aligned to the LGBTQ community, and they are the ones that expose and give an explanation as to the origin of this this activity, this celebration in Canada, seeking to celebrate and to encourage and to give hope to those who are of the transgender, gay, non-binary group, and coming out of the efforts of one little girl, I'm not sure if our school leaders were aware of that when it is that they embraced and started celebrating said thing practice in our school. So we
1 second, Lasani Harrison, only because we're upon a break. Listeners, please stay with us. We'll be right back at the Morning Watch.
Ready to experience 6 times more freshness in your clothes? Try Downy Scent Beats. Its fragrance is so amazing, you'll have to sniff it to believe it. Try Downy Scent Beats today. 6 times more freshness versus using detergent alone.
Well, if you want buy appliances for your home with the quality high and the price low, get it on Habasco. Get it on Habasco. Everything with the need is never need on Habasco. Your home and
GK1 now introduces third-party motor insurance from GK General Insurance. Download and log into the GK1 app. Then select one of 3 affordable third-party options, 25, 35, or 40,000 annually. But there's more. For a limited time, when you purchase a third-party insurance on the GK1 app, you get $1,000 in your GK1 wallet. Yes, money back just like that. One app, 3 motor insurance options from GK General Insurance. Download and insure your car on the GK1 app today.
It's here once again under the distinguished patronage of His Excellency, the Most Honorable Sir Patrick Allen, Governor General of Jamaica, the 32nd National Prayer Vigil. Join us for an evening of prayer for justice, peace, unity, and healing on Sunday, December 8th, 2024, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Sharon Baptist Church, 35 Main Street, Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth. Don't miss this opportunity to unite in prayer for our nations.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. We are in the first watch. The topic is there pride in school spirit days? Our guests are Lasani Harrison, past president of the JTA and principal St. Faith's Primary in St. Catherine, and Evangelist Joseph Buckland, lecturer, Jamaica School of Preaching and Biblical Studies. Lasani Harrison, just before the break, you're making a point. I'm not too sure if you were quite through, but you were highlighting or pointing out some of the concerns or issues with Spirit Days. You made reference to LGBTQ. Would you like to continue, or were you through with your point?
So the origin of the celebration is the cause for concern, and what was the original purpose, that of highlighting, seeking to encourage, to promote those who were of the non-binary, transgender lifestyle. That is it. And so if that is the origin, when it is that we now take on something that had that original purpose that goes against what we believe in our constitution, what we believe in by God's words and standard. And so we have to be careful, because you see this thing called spirit. It is very important when it is that we invoke particular spirits. Everything starts in the spiritual realm for those of us who believe that and say we are Christians. And so, and there is a way that seems right unto a man. Yes, but the end thereof is destruction. And sometimes a lot of things come in disguise, deception. And when it is that we find ourselves participating in a particular activity, then we entertain particular spirits and we don't know. And it is not the spirit of the living God.
Well said, Ivan. I was about to make reference to you as the evangelist, Lasonia Harrison. But you sound like you're speaking in an evangelistic tone a while ago, Lasonia Harrison. Thank you for your thoughts there a moment ago. Evangelist Buckland, sir. I don't know if you're concurring or if you have anything to add or to, because you did say that you would say some things later on.
Yes, Spirit Day was started by a Canadian teenager, Brittany Macmillan, who was a student at the time back in 2010. When she saw on a social media platform that homosexual students had been taking their lives in reaction to harsh criticisms of their lifestyle, she started an annual day to remember those homosexual students who had died and to encourage those homosexual students who were alive, particularly in schools, to persevere and not to give up. And I found this from two websites on the internet, gomag.com, the article entitled A Brief History of Spirit Day, and nationaltoday.com, Spirit Day. Now, the very name Spirit Day comes from the color purple, one of the colors of the LGBTQI flag, which symbolizes spirit, according to the flag creator, Gilbert Baker. Again, from the website gomag.com, the article A Brief History of Spirit Day, and the article from nationaltoday.com, Spirit Day. And the idea behind spirit is that it signifies an eager determination to get non-homosexuals to accept the homosexual lifestyle and to get governments to decriminalize and to legalize homosexuality, lesbianism, bisexuality, and transgenderism. Spirit is also connected to perseverance, that is not giving up one's homosexual way of life when other people are against this lifestyle. And so the purpose of Spirit Day is meant to support and to protect homosexuals so that they may continue to practice their homosexuality without the fear of harsh criticisms. According to another website, GLAAD, which means Gay and Lesbians Alliance Against Defamation.org, in the article Spirit Day. Spirit Day is also one of many days connected with homosexuality. Some of the other days are October, LGBT History Month, February 12th, National Freedom to Marry Day, which celebrates the legalization of same-sex marriage in the United States, and October 11, National Coming Out Day, which celebrates the time when homosexuals started to come out into public and to announce their preference for homosexuality. And this is from the website nationaltoday.com, Spirit Day. So Spirit Day did not originate in Jamaica. It originated outside, and it spread to other countries all over the world. It is now being celebrated in many Jamaican schools, I believe under the guise or masquerade of promoting school spirit of togetherness and accomplishments. But it has everything to do with supporting and accepting the homosexual lifestyle. You know, there is a strategy that the lobbyists of homosexuality use. For example, you have lobby groups entitled or called Pride in a Jamaica, or Equality Jamaica, or Respect Jamaica, and you would not simply by looking at those titles think that they had anything to do with promoting homosexuality. And I think the same thing is true with Spirit Day. You cannot, without doing research, know on the surface that Spirit Day has anything to do with promoting homosexuality. So what they do is to use vague words and phrases so as not to stir up opposition to the objective of Spirit Day. And another factor, which I believe is not really knowing the background or how Spirit Day started. That was true in my case when Spirit Day was introduced in the school where I was a member of staff. But I believe that since Spirit Day originated with the purpose of promoting the acceptance of homosexuality, that it should not be continued in schools. And I believe what needs to be done is for the Ministry of Education to restore Christian Bible-based devotions in all schools. They also need to change the religious education curriculum from being a civics-based curriculum to being a Christian Bible-based curriculum in which students are taught about the one true God, to love him, to fear and reverence him, to obey him, to become followers of Jesus Christ, to cultivate the mind of Christ, and to live a Christ-like life. So we need to be careful what we embrace. We need to do our research, and I would encourage all teachers and all principals and vice principals to do their research as what Lasonja Harrison and myself have done, to see the origin and the history of this day, because elsewhere outside of Jamaica, it is being celebrated as the promotion of the acceptance of homosexuality. And I'm not sure how many local administration and members of the teaching staff know about the real purpose of Spirit Day.
Well, it raises a couple of issues actually, because one of the issues that what you're discussing this morning raises is a lot of Jamaican school administrators may not know of the origins of Spirit Day. I don't know if any of them know. I don't know. But as you're indicating, many of them probably don't know. Secondly, if LGBTQ students were committing suicide, which led to the inception or the starting of such a concept or idea in, I think you said it was Canada, then someone might make the case or argument that, well, the day is necessary because it will help to stem suicides. I mean, regardless of how a person acts or behaves in terms of, you know, their sexual outlook, etc., someone might say, well, you know, it's not a good thing for people to be committing suicide. So let's have a day to see if we can bring some kind of awareness. I'm not saying I agree with it, you know, I'm just saying someone might say, well, one suicide less is better than having suicides occur. And then one interesting thing is that you pointed out, or well, both of you are pointing out that this is celebrated in a lot of traditional high schools in Jamaica. And the traditional high schools in Jamaica, no prejudice against any other school, but those schools tend to be the cradle for the leaders of a country, Jamaica in particular. So any concerns about all of what I just raised, maybe Lasagna Harrison and then Evangelist Buckland before we wrap, because we're almost out of time already.
That thought came to my mind as well as it relates to the whole matter of the suicide, and but there are other ways of certainly encouraging persons to seek help without promoting a particular lifestyle, because it was not just about raising the awareness of the suicide. It was about encouraging persons. And if you note some other days that Pastor Buckland brought out in terms of coming out day, and so it is about support, encouraging the lifestyle of homosexuality, transgender, non-binary, all of those things. And as a Christian nation, we believe and we still support the divine design of male and female. And so we want, that's the purpose of us having counselors in schools, where it is that they can seek help for our children who may be struggling with such confusion as it relates to their sexuality.
Up to never enough time in the morning, watch a couple seconds left. I just want to point out a couple of the schools that the Freedom Come Rain article said celebrate Spirit Days: Immaculate Conception High, Campion College, Merle Grove High, St. Hilda's High, St. Catherine High, among others. And this article can be found in their publication of November 20th, 2024. Evangelist Buckland, in a second or two, a final thought before we wrap. Seconds, literally seconds.
Yes, dealing with suicide can be done differently. A person can be encouraged to know that each one of us is made in the image and likeness of God. So we have inherent worth. And that worth doesn't come from our beliefs or from our practices, but from the fact that God created us to resemble Him. Furthermore,
and Evangelist Buckland, I think we have heard you. I think you've made a point very well. We have heard it, but we are completely and totally out of time. I want to thank both of you, Evangelist Buckland and Lasagna Harrison, for being with us in this first watch. Evangelist Buckland, I think we heard you loud and clear. Understand exactly what you're saying, sir. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Listeners, please stay with us. We'll be right back at the morning watch.
The time by Jan Bank is
7:31.
We have all been there. You feel the flu coming on and you want to catch it early before you start feeling horribly sick. But between syrups, rubs, drops, pills, and sprays, it's hard to know what to use for which symptom. Don't worry, when it comes to everything cold and flu, choose Pharmacold and Flu. This little tablet relieves nasal congestion, sore throat, pain, and fever. Get on with your day with Pharmacold and Flu. Distributed by Massey Distribution.
Ready to experience 6 times more freshness in your clothes? Try Downy Scent Beads. Its fragrance is so amazing, you'll have to sniff it to believe it. Try Downy Scent Beads today. 6 times more freshness versus using detergent alone.
Once upon a time, there's a girl named Kay. She loved to dance and play. One day at school, she got very ill, and Mom was left with an unbearable bill. It would be easier if Mom was prepared. With School Companion, 80% of the bill is cleared. Medical care for children is a must. For as low as $2,540 per month, make unbearable medical bills go away. Sign up for Surgical School Companion today. Conditions apply.
Well, if you want buy appliances for your home with the quality high and the price low, get it on a Bashco. Get it on a Bashco. Bashco. For everything what you need, Bashco is guaranteed on a Bashco. Get it on a Bashco. You more, yeah, Bashco. It's up for your home and living everything for your kitchen, your cup and all that Bashco. The food can give you more, Bashco.
Stop and win a mega kitchen from Megamart. Spend $6,000 or more before GCC at any Megamart location and fill out the entry form provided for a chance to win a brand new stove, fridge, and microwave this Christmas from Appliance Traders Limited. Visit us on social media to win monthly prizes, courtesy of Lasco, Brace Foods, and Face the Commodity Company Limited. Promotion runs from September 30 to December 6th. Shop now to win a mega kitchen from Megamart. Value by far. Conditions apply. Must be 18 years or older to enter. Authorized under Section 58(3) of Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
Come celebrate with us at Scotia Christmas in the Park. Enjoy a fun-filled evening of family entertainment today, December 5 at the Emancipation Park. See performances from talented young performers including Father Holong and Friends, Voice Box Performing Arts, and Dwight Richards. That is the Scotia Christmas in the Park today, December 5. Gates open at 5 p.m. Showtime 6 p.m. Admission free. Merry Christmas from the Scotia Group.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. Let's take a look now at the newspapers to see what Jamaicans and others are saying and doing. And we have here in the Jamaica Observer, panic in Porus. Double murder leaves Manchester town on edge. That story by Casey Williams. We go to the Gleaner. A little bit of regional news here. Bahamas Prime Minister accepts resignation of police commissioner. vows to arrest those involved in drug trade. I'll read a little bit of the story from Nassau, Bahamas, CMC. Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Philip Davis, on Wednesday said he had accepted the resignation of Police Commissioner Clayton Fernando as the fallout continues from the indictment by U.S. law enforcement authorities of a senior Bahamian police officer on charges of conspiracy to import cocaine, as well as possession and use of firearms last week. I did hear where it was indicated that there is no aspersion being cast on the now former police commissioner. However, he resigned and his resignation was accepted. We turn now to Loop Jamaica news. 10 roads in South St. James selected for rehab under Spark program. A little bit of the story here. 10 roads in St. James Southern have been selected for rehabilitation under the government's Share Prosperity through Accelerated Improvement to Our Road Network Spark program. And there's a photograph here of the Member of Parliament and Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister, West Homer Davis, during his recent contribution to the 2024-25 constituency debate in the House of Representatives. Those and many other stories in our various news sources. Of course, coming up next, we'll read some of the feedback from our Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp question, which is, to what extent does advertising determine your child's diet? If you haven't done so, leave your response in our Facebook or YouTube, Love 1FM Jamaica Live, and also WhatsApp comments and voice notes to 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll be right back.
Oreo wants to remind you that Christmas is here, the time of year when every day there are more special details, because now we don't walk down the street humming any song. Now we walk to the rhythm of a Christmas carol. Christmas is celebrated every day with moments that make it more special. Oreo invites you to enjoy and keep playing every day of this season. Oreo, stay playful.
White grape, red grape, strawberry, peach. Any celebration, the buckle up reach. Pink and blue, magic papa, baby shower. Mixed food, pineapple, coconut, good for every hour. I'm the Jamaican sorry. Mix sauce straight, everybody can manage.
Make magical moments with Magic Sparkling.
Well, if you want buy appliances for your home with the quality high and the price low, get it on Habasco. Get it on Habasco. Everything where you need, Habasco. It's like a need on Habasco. Your home and get it on Habasco. The and get you more Habasco.
GK1 now introduces third-party motor insurance from GK General Insurance. Download and log into the GK1 app. Then select one of 3 affordable third-party options, 25, 35, or 40,000 annually. But there's more. For a limited time, when you purchase a third-party insurance on the GK1 app, you get $1,000 in your GK1 wallet. Yes, money back just like that. One app, 3 motor insurance options from GK General Insurance. Download and insure your car on the GK1 app today.
I thought you better double up your savings. Double up the books that you're in a waiting. The dreams you've been chasing. Double up your savings.
So you can win in the Jam Bank double of your savings promotion. You can be one of 5 lucky quarterly winners to walk away with double the money you put in your savings account. Conditions apply. Check our website and social media details. Jam Bank will help you find a way. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. We move right into the second watch now. Come October of next year, the United Kingdom's government is planning on banning daytime TV advertisements for sugary foods like granola and muffins in its battle against child obesity, branding such popular items as junk food. In Jamaica in 2017, obesity rates in boys was at 10.3%, while obesity rates among girls was at 9.9%. With the prevalence of overweight and obesity in children and adolescents increasing in Jamaica, how much of it is due to ads and marketing? Do they really wield that much power, especially over our children? Many of them are not watching television as much as maybe children in the past were. It is said, not too sure if that always holds, because sometimes children can watch ads in various platforms and in various fora, looking at ads on their phones, etc. Would such an initiative work in Jamaica? Banning ads, advertising what is now being classified in England, for example, as junk food. Well, we have as guests today to discuss what I think is quite an interesting topic. Dr. Leokim Samaj, founder and chief ideator Above or Beyond, transformation psychologist, and Lisa Homi-Levy, clinical nutritionist and doctoral candidate at the University of West Indies in child, adolescent, and youth studies. Lisa Homi-Levy, Dr. Leokim Samaj, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good having you both. Now, starting with you, Dr. Samaj, as a psychologist, would banning such ads, in your view, have some sort of impact on reducing the influence on children to purchase what seems to be now called as junk food?
Well, technically, most of the purchase is not being done by children, it's their parents.
Yes.
But the ads impact the parents and also impact the children to pressure the parents into making the purchases.
Yes. Dr. Samaj, you sound a little bit low. I'm not sure on why that might be so. We're hearing you, but you sound a little bit low, and there's a slight echo. Just letting you know that. Maybe we can both on our respective ends try to
change my microphone, or I'll speak a little louder.
Yes, that might help. That might help. Go ahead, sir.
Is that better?
Slightly, yes. Slightly, yes. Slightly better. Try again, sir. Try again.
Doctor, is it better now?
It's a little bit, you're a little bit louder, but the echo is still there. But we're going to try to persevere. You said that the parents are the ones who are buying these items, and the ads are influencing both the parents and the adults. Continue.
The parents, the children put pressure on their parents to buy. And a lot of this is impulse buying. But advertising works. There's no question at all about that. Advertising has an impact. And if you notice that there's a large block of advertising and children's programming in Jamaicans programming as television, media as such.
That is
so
correct.
The state has a responsibility to regulate, to send signals. We're talking about medicine. Medicine 2.0 is where we are now, where we just work at correcting things and fixing things. But medicine 3.0 is about prevention. It's about getting to the root, getting to the source of the problem. So I think this is a big step. It's not going to take it all, because what tends to happen when the advertising is bad, then they move it to other sources. Try and put things that are directly in the school or in the supermarkets and so on. You have tasting and promotions. You have sponsorships. But it's part of the signaling, yes.
Understood. Lisa Homi-Levy, I hope I have not mispronounced your name. Your thoughts?
Well, yes, I definitely agree with what Dr. Samaj is saying. First of all, I want to say that obesity in Jamaica is a very, very critical problem. And the statistics that you quoted are correct. But if you look at it in terms of overweight and obesity together, Jamaica actually has 1 in 3 children that are overweight or obese. So it's a critical problem, and globally it's viewed now as a pandemic, which is why you see countries like the UK, Mexico, Chile, Peru, and several other countries are, making very severe restrictions and putting into place policies that are addressing this problem, because it's a critical problem, and our children are, at great risk for obesity, and then of course all the non-communicable diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular risk, hypertension, psychological issues. Some obese children actually commit suicide. I'm sure Dr. Samaj is aware of that. So it's a massive, massive problem, and it will create tremendous health burdens on our country. So the time is now to act, and banning advertisements and marketing in general is one way or a strategy that for sure can influence.
Lisa, only
Dr.
because
had
Lisa,
said
only because we're upon a break because of time. Only because of time. Can you hold the thought 1 second? We're upon a break already. Listeners, please stay with us. We'll be right back on the Morning Watch.
Come celebrate with us at Scotia Christmas in the Park. Enjoy a fun-filled evening of family entertainment on Thursday, December 5, today at the Emancipation Park. See performances from the talented young performers, including Father Holong and Friends, Voice Box Performing Arts, and Dwight Richards. That's Scotia Christmas in the Park today, December 5, showtime 6 p.m., admission free. Merry Christmas from the Scotia Group.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. We are in the second watch, and we're having a very important conversation with two individuals. The topic is exploring the banning of ads as a diet control method. And our guests are Dr. Leakim Semaj, founder, chief ideator, Above or Beyond, and transformation psychologist, and Lisa Homi-Levy, clinical nutritionist and a doctoral candidate at University of West Indies in child, adolescent, and youth studies. Lisa Homi-Levy, just before the break, you're making some important points, and one of the things you did say, it's time to act now. You even gave a couple of metrics. 1 in 3 children are either overweight or obese.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
you also went on to talk about the fact that it's a challenge here in Jamaica. The time to act is now. Would you like to continue your thought, or were you almost through?
Well, it's a huge topic, so it's hard to even, talk about it in this limited time. But the question is whether banning ads of unhealthy foods on TV will, will cause an impact and will reduce the incidence of obesity in children. And my answer would be, I think it is part of a complex array of strategies that are needed to be implemented. Advertising and marketing has been clearly shown in the literature to influence children's food and beverage awareness, attitudes, preferences, purchase intent, and ultimately consumption. This has clearly been shown in the literature. And so obviously, if you ban the advertisements and the marketing of unhealthy foods and beverages, it is going to lead to a decrease in all these things. And Dr. Samaj was saying that parents do most of the purchasing, but think about what they're doing in schools. They're in a school environment for more than 3/4 of their day, and they're being bombarded with marketing and unhealthy foods and beverages. In Jamaica, the consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages among children is alarming, and it's because it's so available and the marketing is so rampant. So I would say that it's part of a big web of strategies that need to be implemented, because marketing does influence children and it does have an impact. As you said, if they just ban it on TV, then obviously there's a whole area of social media which would also need to be addressed, because they watch things on YouTube. Children nowadays are constantly on their phones, constantly finding other sources to access media. So TV would just be one step. And then there's other strategies that would need to be concurrently put in place, like front of package labeling, which is a quick and easy way to let consumers know whether a product is high in sugar, high in salt, high in fat. They'd also have to address various other issues, exercise. I mean, it's a complex issue. Obesity is a very complex issue. There's an array of causes. So my short answer to this question is that I wouldn't say that banning ads is a one fixed solution. There's many ways that this needs to be dealt with. It has to be dealt with from many angles.
You know, it might appear as if well, let me just raise it. Dr. Samaj, you could get some kind of pushback. You do have, fast food outlets, you have supermarkets, you have manufacturers who make money from these things. You have media, which earns money from these advertisements of these various products, and you might even have some persons who will say, well, we'll introduce a line of products which is healthy, but they're not going to withdraw the other items that can lead to obesity. Any concerns or reactions to that, Dr. Samaj?
He's on mute, I think.
Dr. Samaj, I think you're muted. Are you muted, sir?
Yeah, we will get pushback, but it's a responsibility of government to make hard decisions. We are precedent in terms of what we have done with smoking in Jamaica. The whole process of the National Health Fund is funded by sin tax. Revenue from institutions that impact our health in terms of smoking and drinking and so on. So it can be done. So governments have a responsibility to do this. But it's also important that we provide counter programming, so to speak, in terms of the promotion of healthy alternatives. Jamaica has some very bad cultural-based decision. This thing called sky juice and bag juice. We have no excuse for those things in Jamaica. We have so many different fruits. Sound like poetry, huh?
I'm glad you raised that, Dr. Samaj, because even if the campaign or the initiative in the United Kingdom works, and even if we adopted something similar here in Jamaica, we have certain, I almost want to call them cultural issues or practices. You are leaving school in the evenings, like a primary school, for example, and the vendors are right there at the school gate. Sometimes they're actually on the school compound, and they're selling the lollipops, and they're selling, all sorts of things, and a high sugar content, and they're so attractive, and they have all these colors, and you just want to buy them, and you save up your money from earlier in the day, you just buy them and you're walking home, and you have, you're drinking this and you're eating that. That is an issue. And then you can have issues of, well, if you attack, I'm using the word deliberately, attack the vendor at the school gate who is selling all these things, you're cutting into her livelihood. She can't send her children to school. It can become political. Dr. Samaj, any comments?
But it has to be done, you see. It has to be done. It's not about popularity. And, intelligent politicians make hard decisions on behalf of the collective good of the people. And as you know, this is all schools, I wouldn't even call them, but there's some schools, no vendor would ever dare stand out the gate. Because the principal and the school and the board makes it clear, we do not tolerate this in the collective best interest of our children. But I'm saying, let's also do some counter programming now. Let's start a public campaign to promote healthy eating.
Yes.
Now, I remember even going to school, some parents who would send healthy things with their children, and the children feel bad because they don't get to eat the junk that other children are having.
Exactly.
Because they were just one.
Yes.
So I'm saying, yes, but we have to make it a broader thing. Make it a campaign, make it exciting. You wanna the same way that we promote junk and make it exciting. We have to do the same thing in terms of healthy options. Let's say that the whole thing about you can use your teeth to dig your grave. And so this is what we're actually, actually allowing them to happen. So we really need to do the alternative and explain why. What's the ultimate cost of obesity? What's the ultimate cost of ill health? Who pays for it? How the society pays for it? You can make a massive campaign about this, and so it has to be done.
Absolutely, I agree with that completely.
To comment, Lisa Homie-Levy, the impact on the industry, culture, that when that the school gate continue.
Yeah, I agree with what Dr. Samaj said. I think that if the government will implement the school nutrition policy that we are hoping and praying that that will happen, there are issues that are being put forth about vendors. Vendors aren't allowed to be within a certain radius of the school, and also general nutrition education for the vendors, for the parents, for the children is critical, and that's integrated into the policy. Restrictions on marketing within a school, that's also part of the policy. And as you said, the promotion of healthy products versus only unhealthy products is very critical. And I think it's important to note that it is actually one of the United Nations child rights that a child must be able to access healthy food. And currently in Jamaica and globally, children are being put in environments, especially the school environment, where even if they want to access healthy food, they cannot. And they cannot make healthy choices. So, as I said, the whole issue of marketing is just a piece of what needs to be done. And education of the parents, education of the children, of the teachers, of the vendors, of the canteen managers, all of this has to be integrated into any strategy that's really going to make a significant mark and dent in this obesity crisis. But the fundamental view is that, as Dr. Samaj says, this is a crisis and it has to be addressed because the future of our children is at stake.
I'm speaking personally. There was a point in time when I was a vegan, a very short time though, not a very long time. In fact, sometimes I still flirt with it. But I remember going into the supermarket at one point in time when I was a strict vegan. And I looked around and I said, but there's nothing in here for me to buy. Well, I went to the vegetable section and the fruit section, and I found something over there. But otherwise, I was wondering, there's nothing in here to buy. So in terms of healthy options, I don't think it's just the children alone. I think it's the society as a whole. There's a challenge. We are sort of culturized, is that a term I can use, into wanting to just pick up what is available. It oftentimes has a lot of sugar, etc. So before we wrap this morning, in the couple of seconds, or maybe a minute that we have left, I don't know if you want to leave with us any final thoughts. And Lisa Homie-Levy, when you're in closing, would you like to point out some of the points in that nutrition policy that you mentioned? Is it a draft policy, or is it finalized? You want to say something about that before we wrap this morning, and then Dr. Samaj?
It hasn't been put forward yet, but it's in the stage where it's about to be finalized and it's hopefully about to be approved. And I can tell you that children want it. I was part of a discussion with high schoolers at Wilma's high school the other day, and the really interesting thing was the range of children from different high schools want to have healthier options. They want to have more variety. They want to be healthy. They want to live a long life, and they feel very trapped and they feel very limited in what they can access, what they can afford. And
feeling trapped, yes.
I think that it's something that if we can really start making, as Dr. Samaj says, let us all pull together and collaborate, not fight with each other, not pull each other.
Only because of time, Lisa Homie-Levy, let me try to get a final thought from Dr. Samaj.
Let's do it. That's my final thought. Let's do it.
Lisa, Dr. Samaj, any final thoughts you want to leave with us?
I believe that one thing that we definitely have to rope in, having popular figures. There are a lot of music-related figures in Jamaica, individuals who are strong supporters of this decision.
Okay.
Get them to get part of it. And it won't be hard to get them to.
Have to leave it there this morning, Dr. Lisa Homie-Levy. Have to leave it there this morning. Lisa Homey Levy and Dr. Leah Kim Semarch. I want to thank you both for your time and for your thoughts. It is a very interesting discussion, and more on. We wait to see what happens from here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. And join us again next week, Tuesday, listeners, as we continue to set the stage for the discussion of topic and controversial issues. Visit the Love 101 FM YouTube channel and Facebook page, and now TikTok at Love 101 FM Jamaica for this and all other Love 101 FM programs. And of course, listen to the Morning Watch on our Love 101 app. Download it today and stay connected to the family station, Love 101 FM, the number one gospel station in Jamaica. This has been the Morning Watch. Thanks to our producer, Kathy Gale, and to our guests, join Reverend Dr. Dylan Toussaint next week as he continues to look at the issues of the day. I am Stokeley Marshall, hanging back Love in the Morning with Chikala.
At the Ministry of Health and Wellness, we are committed to the values of care, compassion, excellence in service, integrity, teamwork, and innovation as we work to safeguard the health of our nation. The time by the Ministry of Health and Wellness is
8 a.m. You are now invited to listen to